this, but he's actually over your shoulder right now.
Yeah.
This filthy bitch.
I don't need to be. I'm in his head.
I'm in that ass. Where's the
That too.
Hey, everybody out there in Twitch. You can see what kind of session tonight is going to be already. I'm Carlos A. Lysing, Dungeon Master from the first Betrayal campaign. Down below us are three of my favorite people in the world, my players over here. Over there on the left, my best friend Jeremy Brazil, playing Raymar the Wildlight. In the middle,
among other things,
my other brother Patrick Hope, who's playing Agrias the Tenebrous Hand. And on the right-hand side of your screen, Magnus Miller-Wilson, who'll be playing Eric's. Now, some of you might have been privy to this information or not in the over Facebook, but tonight's going to be a little bit different of a campaign for us, a session for us, because I'm having the boys all play multiple characters. The reason why we're doing this is we're experimenting around a little bit. I want to make sure that nobody has too much downtime during the game, that they're always engaged, always having something to do. We're going to see how this works out. You can see at the bottom of the screen right now, for example, we're going to be starting off with Jeremy's portion of the game, with Raymar. That's why there's a question mark beneath his screen, because you don't know who he's going to play yet. Only Patrick knows who he's playing right now. So that'll be the same case for when we move over to Agrias' portion of the game. I will reveal who he is playing when the time comes.
We call it Castle Roulette.
We are calling it Castle Roulette, yes. It's very castle-y and very roulette-y. So is everybody, you guys ready to go today?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, yes. We're starting in the temple?
We are starting in the temple. And hey, Lord Grendelwolf, it's great to see you. But before we start in the temple, over there on our game map, over there on the left, top right-hand side of the screen, it's super-duper small, but I'm going to blow it up for everybody here in a moment. That is our game map. I thought it would be interesting for everybody to get a chance to see where everything is, where you guys have been so far. And so I will blow this up a bit for everybody's perusal.
I'm not on. I forgot to load Twitch. Hold on.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right.
I'm behind the 8-ball here.
Oh, that's okay. You can take your time on it, because I got to explain to everybody out there in Twitch what we're looking at right over here. Okay, this is the Radek Coast over here, all right? As you can see over there on the left-hand side of the screen, that's the city of Martyr. That's the capital of Radek. Now, our players actually began in the small town of Cabrick's Cove, which is down the coast a little bit over there, right? That's where they all met and began about a year ago in gameplay. They continued on to the west and ended up building starting to build their citadel over at Procan's Eye, that location there. That's right north of, that's just north of the Axewood. To the south of that is the city of Mirthason, which is where the dwarven drowned city is that they've been now and again trying to infiltrate to get some magic items out of it. The Tower of Shadows is over there in the mountains and the Rakers, the southern spur of the Rakers over there. That is where Agrias' mistress, Elsa Teresa, was located, depending on where you want to look at her in terms of time. And you'll see at the bottom of the screen, the Tenerum. The Tenerum is the name of the fallen temple of Persephone and Hades. Okay. This is called the Tenerum for a reason, because in Greek mythology, the Tenerum is the gateway to the underworld. So, thought it would be an appropriate way to name the temple. Of course, Jeremy, since you're the one that is you're glorifying it, if you choose to give it a different name, that's fine with me. I'll just rename it. But
I was thinking like the Temple of the Wildlight or something like that.
Oh, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Yeah. I am absolutely sure that no matter what, Hades won't be at all offended by you calling it that.
No, of course not. We go way back.
Right. Well, yeah, real way back at this point. So, but we're going to begin at the temple, at the Fallen Temple, and with no further ado, we're going to begin our game this evening. When we last left our intrepid hero, Raymar the Wildlight, had been contacted by a tribe of gnolls. They had been kind of spying on his on the temple, and they managed to get caught by a couple of his henchmen, namely his orcish henchman and the gnoll monk. The gnolls have been, I guess, according to them, they've seen some kind of vision that Jeremy may hold the key, or at least Rainmar may hold the key to the survival of the tribe. The tribe has almost been wiped out by a rival tribe. The rival tribe is called the Pale Circle. These are the Ghost Walkers. What happened was they were out on a hunt, and they came back, and they found out at their den these Pale Circle had slaughtered all of the cubs in their tribe and many of the females, and then left them. The reason being knowing that they would slowly strangle themselves out of existence. Pretty horrific way to die. Only a Gnoll could think of a way to kill somebody like that. But as a consequence of that, they have approached Rainmar and said, "Listen, in order to join you, or we want to reinforce you. We understand that you're important to us and we're important to you. We want to have you challenge one of our champions inside of our den, and whoever makes it out alive is if you make it out alive, then you're strong enough for us to join you." But Rainmar countered, "That's just great, but you haven't proven shit to us, to me. So you're actually going to come also over to my temple, and we're going to have a second fight, so you can prove yourselves that you're worthy to me." Well, the queen of the Carrion Queen, who was the leader of the Gnoll tribe, was delighted by the idea. Gnolls respect strength. Gnolls respect aggressiveness. So she thought it was a great idea. Rainmar, I believe that you guys had scheduled the first fight to be at the den, correct?
Yes. We are... When we left off, I was in the den, and I was getting ready to face down these hyena-faced fools.
Okay. Great to see you again, Stalaka. Good. Thanks for joining us tonight. Okay. With that being said, you are at the front of the cave mouth, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up our map for everybody to see as far as what Jeremy is looking at right now.
And do I need...
Who's with him?
I'm sorry?
Who's with him?
I'm going to tell you.
Oh, okay.
Right now, what you're looking at is as follows. At the bottom of the map, at the entrance of the cave, you will see Rainmar the Wild Light's icon right there. Okay. Now, tactically speaking, he has been joined by his friend, the cleric of Hermes, Eryx. Eryx, you have been told by the Carrion Queen and the shaman of the tribe, who is named Cackles to Ghosts is his name. He's he's kind of a hunchbacked Gnoll who carries the staff with a goat's head on the top of it. Jeremy did not elude Rainmar that the head on the top of his staff is a black ram's head. But you've been accompanying him, basically so that there would be an impartial party there. The Carrion Queen said that you don't trust us yet. There should be somebody in the cave to represent Rainmar. And over there at the top of the screen, you will see one of the biggest gnolls that you have ever seen. He is about 7'6", just absolutely massive. He has two weapons lying behind him. One of them is a massive glaive. I believe the other one was a massive flail.
Okay.
And it's a short bow. And with that, I would like to show everyone. This Gnoll's name is Hergranka, and that is who Patrick Hope will be playing today.
I don't need to write that down, right? Because he's going to die?
Not necessarily. He may kill Rainmar.
Little brother's going to try to take a swing at me. And now I can tell you that over the years, he's done this many times, and it never turns out well for him. So
that's why we haven't seen him in a month, though. He's been preparing.
The swelling in his face is finally down, is what's happening.
Nullzilla. The Jiller Grindelwald says Nullzillas. That's awesome. Guys, Hergranka, what weapon are you going to choose to begin the fight with? You've got your weapons behind you. Would you like to use your glaive or your other arms, or would you prefer to use your short bow?
But use my glaive.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Pulls out the glaive. Rainmar, what are you going to be using in this combat?
Okay, two things. Norik was with me.
Okay, yeah, Norik is also there. As are the two monks. However, Norik is not allowed in the cave. You've been told that you've got one representative in there, and you already outnumber her, Granka. Right now, the Carrion Queen would argue, wouldn't you like to have somebody outside to prevent against treachery anyway?
Right. Well, I would if I was afraid of any of you. So here's what we'll do: is I'm going to go ahead. I think I'm wearing the helm of Apollo. I've got my ancient Grecian spear, and I'll do the spear and shield.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm wearing the sandals, wearing the shield. Yeah, so I'll do shield and spear using the helm and the sandals if need be.
Granka, you can see the wild light pick up. You have his spear, and he has his shield in hand. You can see all the weapons that he's got. Rainmar, the helm is whispering into your ear these thoughts of feelings of ancient enemies, and kind of the sensation of it's not really sure whether it wants you to win or lose.
I go ahead and just tell Apollo that he can pound sand.
Or his mom.
Or his mom is fine. I'm busy with her, but when I'm done, yeah, we'll just. I'm telling you, I came to play. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do this indeed. So, Rainmar, I need you and her Granka. Cackles with Ghosts comes into the cave, and he stands next to Eric's. He looks over at Eric's, kind of just glances over there. And he just all hunched over with his staff in his hand. He's got this leather helmet over there with.
This is Cackles, right?
Yeah, with Cackles.
Okay.
The eyes are kind of got these little leather pieces in there that make him almost look like his face is skeletal. As he looks over back and forth between the two of you in halting common, he says, "You'll today fight for the right to call yourself our ally, Rainmar the Wildlight. You with the blood of the true folk in your veins." Looks over Eric's. "To ensure that this fight is a fair one. Your friend is here at my side. I will ensure that the fight is fair from our side. Granka, champion of the nose, are you ready?"
I am ready.
Rainmar!
Rainmar.
I'll yell at Rainmar. Rainmar! Yeah, and I'll say, okay, in Hermes' name, don't make it too difficult for me to clean up, okay?
The more messy, the better. Cackles with Ghost pounds his staff on the table once.
I just throw my hands up
Wiley.
and, like, mock, kind of,
Granka and Rainmar, you stand 50 feet away from one another. Please roll me an initiative. 6-sider for both of you. Good to see you, Wiley. Thanks for the raid, brother. We appreciate it.
Wily Hobbit.
2 for Granka. What do you have, Rainmar?
3.
3. Rainmar, you go first. What would you like to do?
Well,
I rolled a 5.
Are you going to do anything, Eric's? Or are you going to stand and watch?
Not for now.
Okay, good. All right.
So this isn't date night, but I'm just gonna give it to him anyway.
It's always date night when we're together, buddy.
Jesus.
Well, usually I would call out, you go high, I go low, but I'm on my own on this one. It's okay. Let's. You know what? I'm gonna charge this fool.
Okay.
And by this fool, I mean my brother. I'll be right back. No, I'm gonna charge to do the spear. And he taught me to use the shield as kind of a reinforcer of the spear.
That is correct. And he also taught you how to bash with it if in close confines.
It's for hiding your move, too.
Okay.
It's
Cowards hide behind shields.
Okay.
It's so that he can't telegraph your moves.
I love it, Ragnarok. So you can move 3 squares, Rainmar. Which direction would you like to go?
Excuse me. I can move 3 squares with the sandals of Hermes on my feet.
Oh, I forgot you have the sandals of Hermes on your feet. Yes, you can actually move 6 squares if you wish.
Bitchin'.
What?
Yes.
Okay. Can I just do a Hermes-inspired lunge at this punk?
Yes, you can. So, the wild light begins to move ahead. And
it's wild. It's plenty wild. I'll tell you that right now.
Just give me one moment.
No, I'm not giving it. I'm taking it.
Oh, I bet you are. I bet you are. Give me one moment again. I just found out that I made a mistake on my layering. Okay. Copy. Okay, so Rainmar, you go ahead and you lunge and you move in.
Yes.
I need you to... Hagranka, the human comes in at you with startling speed. Speed faster than anything you've ever seen before. Maybe like faster than the wolf, faster than the eagle. He comes flying at you with his spear. I need you to roll me a 20, Rainmar.
Oh!
That's my boy!
Oh, yeah. All right. Okay, 18, baby.
Okay.
Oh!
Roll me a 6-sider, please.
6-sider. That's going to be a 3.
Okay. Hagranka, the human takes his spear and lunges it forward at you. You manage to kind of deflect it a little bit out of the way with your glaive. It still bites into the piece of your shoulder. You feel a little bit of blood start to pour down your arm. You take 3 points of damage. What is your move? He's right on top of you, though. Now, being that you're 7'7", he has a lot of reach with that spear, but your reach with the glaive is just as great, if not greater.
Settle down.
What will you do?
Can I... Is the spear in my arm?
It is... No, it just glanced off of you. It bit into the flesh and popped away.
I'm gonna go for a swing with the... at his torso.
Okay, please roll me a 20.
All right. Let me just get my...
Oh, no, not the undertows.
No, I don't have those today.
Okay.
1.
Okay. Rainmar,
Yeah.
you bit into the flesh of the arm with a spear. You feel the glaive whiz over the top of your head. Just the force of the blow. He's so close to you, you can smell his sweat. You can smell the blood, a bit of rotten chunks of meat in his fur. Swings over your head, clean miss over top of you, but he leaves himself a bit exposed for your next swing.
This is all kind of standard date night
I
stuff.
found him!
About time.
Well, I've lost the fight. I'll go ahead and resign. Go ahead and resign now. Okay, so he's a little bit exposed.
He's very exposed.
You know? And when that happens, I feel like I want to make some distance.
Oh, for the spleen.
So can I do I get a 2 for 3 round?
You do a 2 for 3 round this time.
That's why I study the Grecian style, because I like to get wild. So here's what's going to happen. I'm kind of in there, like, you know, my spear got bit off to the side, or I got the shield like this. I'm going to bash with the shield to make some distance between the two of us, and then skewer right from behind the shield. So just go bang, and then whoosh, like this.
Okay, make me 2 20-siders.
I'm even going to make that noise. I want that to go on record. Okay, we got 5 and 16.
Okay. Hagranka, you feel the shield bash. He hits you in the chest with it, but it just really, you're so massive, it really didn't do too much against you. But what you can see is the human pushes back with it, rolls backwards, throws his spear out again, and it bites into your flesh. Go ahead and make me a 6-sider.
My spear's hungry.
Yes, it is.
5.
Oh, I meant Rainbar.
Oh.
Yeah.
What do you need? A 6?
A 6, please.
Yeah, I'm online die roller tonight.
Okay.
6-sider, that's a 3. I've rolled 3 3s tonight already, people. This is...
Okay, Hagranka, again, he kind of cuts you, this time a little bit on the rib, side of your ribs. Blood is starting to come, flowing freely. Eric's, at the mouth of the cave, you can hear some chittering and laughter from the front of the cave. You kind of look back and you see about 3 or 4 gnolls that have kind of crept forwards, and you see their eyes glowing in the darkness of the cavern. They're just kind of watching. They're doing that giggling, that horrible, that haunting giggle that hyenas make, that chittering laughter when they start getting excited. Hagranka, from the side of you, you hear the shaman, Cackles the Ghost, exhort you. Kill him, Hagranka! He's only a human! What are you going to do?
I jab him in the ribs. The old man. I jab him with my elbow right in the ribs.
Are you going to do that? Are you serious, Eric's?
Okay, I am.
Okay, make me a 20, please.
I'm not going to do it hard. I'm just going to do it like knock that shit off.
Okay.
So, where's the...
I got a 17.
Well, you surprised him. He was in the middle of doing it.
He was in the middle of doing his stupid-ass hyena laugh.
He's like,
bam!
He looks over at you, kind of
just like a
snarls
little bruised room. Yeah, snarl all you want, bitch.
Hagranka, your turn. What are you going to do?
I'm going to slice for his neck.
Okay, 20, please.
Come and get it.
16.
Okay, I need to know something from you. You are a little bit distance from him, but you have reach because of your weapon. Are you going to stay put, or are you going to close? I'm
going to close.
This? Okay. Hagranka comes in with the glaive, comes overhead with it. Raymar, you can feel the glaive strike you. Make me a 6-sider, Hagranka.
I can't use my shield to block?
Well, yeah, we're going to find out how good it was. 5?
Oh.
Hagranka, Rainmar, is super strong. When he hits you with the glaive, you had the shield up just in time, otherwise it would have split your head in half. But the force of the blow, staggers you back, kind of almost compresses you down a little bit. Take 5.
As in take a 5-minute break, or?
No, it's in. Well, if you'd like to, but I think something bad's going to happen if you do that. Take 5 points of damage.
You got it. 5 points. Okay.
Rainbar, your turn. Ha ha! That's what more like it, Hagranka. Hagranka, you can hear that chittering from the front of the cavern.
Holy shit, Hagranka!
How do I...
I'm going to answer everything this old man says.
Hagranka, you can hear, by the way, the chittering from the front of the cave belongs to, one of them is Ragzert, the warrior, and another one of them is the daughter of the Carian queen, Iluka. So she's actually watching too. And right away, you know what that means from your character background.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Your turn, Rainmar.
So the shield, how do I activate its effect?
You're not really sure. You've only recently gotten it.
And I don't know if I've ever told you this before, but I dislike you. All right, that's fine. So his glaive hit the shield. The shield hit me.
Kind of pushed you back on the ground.
I took 5 points of damage.
Yep.
And he's now in a close enough range. Can I use the sandals to make a multiple attack?
You can, but remember what the cost of it is.
I don't remember what.
Okay, the cost of remember that the sandals of Hermes, mortal men are not meant to go this fast. There is a cost to you in terms of after the fight is over with, or actually I should say for the next, after this round, you can make 2 attacks this round if you want to, but the next round you're going to make a half attack.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Lots of thermodynamics. Magic can't even
Lord
beat 'em.
Grendelwolf, too late to check the shield user manual.
Nice.
Totally. That's how I feel. Well, I thought the DM was the shield user manual. And
I am the shield user manual, but you haven't trained with it yet.
File not found.
File not found.
I'm going to break this shield over your head. I just need... Okay, that's fine. So we're going to get speary with it, okay?
Okay. He's right on top of you. You take
I'm feeling like this right now, right?
Right.
Okay, I'm going to swing with the spear for his Achilles tendon and try to sweep him down.
Okay.
'Cause he's big. I don't want him on top of me.
Roll me a 20, Rainmar.
Roll me a 20.
While he is rolling, Carlos,
Yes.
does sleep have to be prepared?
It does. It does.
Okay. If those gnolls at the tunnel start creeping any further in, that's what I'm working on, okay?
Got it.
Okay, we got a 13, brother.
Okay. Rainmar, you go ahead and you hit him in the ankle, but there's some kind of like a bone strap there that you manage to hit with it, and it really doesn't do have any effect on him. It just kind of hits it and kind of clangs off of it. Hagranka, your turn.
This is so unrealistic. I mean, in real life, I would have killed this gnoll already. This is so ridiculous. No, but it's fine. I do have a question, though.
Good.
The Myrmidon style leads with the shield.
It does lead with a shield.
Okay, so I'm actually role playing this wrong. I'll fix it next round.
Yeah, I was right about to say, Eric's, having seen a lot of fighting of the Grecian style before, he's very unorthodox, you can see.
Yeah, I'm playing it wrong. I'll fix it
I
next.
could have told you that.
Here, Gronka, your turn. What are you going to do? Glaive attack again?
How close am I to... Can I grab his shield?
You can try.
Can I go to grab it and then bop him in the face with it and then slash down?
Yeah, but that will be 2 attacks. One of them will be the grab and the bop, or the grab, I should say, and the next one will be the grab and bop will be the one, and the second one will be the slash.
Okay, slash is at his throat again too.
Okay, well go ahead, Hergranka, your first one with roll me a 20.
19.
Oh wow, okay, Rainmar. You slash with the leg, you clang off of it. Because you've got the shield up and you're kind of off balance, it gives Hergranka the chance to grab the shield. He's got his hands around it. One of his hands on it, I should say. And he tries to shove it back into your face. Make me another 20, Hergranka.
12.
That actually doesn't work so well, though. Raymar's stronger than you think. He's a pretty big boy for a human. And when you try and shove it back into his face, he's stronger than you expected and is able to kind of compress his arm against it enough. Raymar, your turn.
All right, look. I've got to go back to what Asperion has been teaching me, and that is to press with the shield and use the spear as the backup. Now, this is my 2 for 3 round.
It is your 2 for 3 round.
Okay, so we're going to go back to the shield. I'm going to lead with the shield, saying a silent prayer to whatever chimera or...
It's important who you're going to say it to. I'd like to know who you're going to say it to in specific.
Fucking Zonye.
Are you going to say it to Zonye?
I'm not praying to anybody.
Okay.
I'm going to beat the daylights out of this gnoll. Yeah, I should say a prayer to Gorlick. That would be the right one to... In fact, that's what I'm going to do.
Hermes, dude.
I bark out a prayer to Gorlick in Gnollish as I press on. This is the wildlife, baby. I don't miss anything.
As you're saying your prayer, as you're making your move, Eric's, you actually hear the shaman, but next to you, he gasps audibly. He stopped chittering for a moment. He looks mildly shocked. Go ahead, Raymar. Your move, then?
What the hell god is that? Is that like their null god?
He's the original null god that is no longer really worshipped.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
all right.
That's a little bit of Greyhawk lore for you right there.
Yes, it is. That's deep right there.
That's deep lore. You got to out of your mind to drop that one.
But there's like Hermes, Hades, Persephone.
There's a lot of gods flying around.
And Gorlick, I guess.
And Gorlick.
Most of these idiots worship Yanogu now, but okay. So I drop Gorlick's name really just to off balance people, because not only do I take the shits, but I've got a big spoon to stir with, okay? Now, I'm going to double up. I'm going shield press, just like Asperian taught me. This is going to be perfect Myrmidon Grecian assault.
Let's find out. Roll me a 20.
Settle down. I'm getting there. Okay, how many? My question is, do I roll 2 20s?
No, I need you to roll me first 120.
Okay, we've got a 20. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Now roll me another 20.
You got it. Finally, something decent. And I'm saving all of these die rolls so that I can screenshot it when we're done.
That's fine. We're on the honor system. I trust you.
Yeah, but I have no honor, so it's better.
Well, there's a dude in the middle of the screen who I know has never cheated on his dice. However, he always rolls high. I've seen it in person. So
I've seen it, firsthand, right? I have to cheat in order to keep up with him.
What are you guys talking about?
So what do you got, Rainmar? What's the 2 20s?
Hey, shut up, Undertow. The adults are working here, okay?
I don't know who you guys are talking about.
Just turn off your mic. Okay, so what do you need?
What'd you roll? The second one.
Oh, good. That's a good question for you to ask me. I rolled an 8.
Okay, now roll me a 6 and an 8.
A 6 and an 8. The 6 is give me a 6, give me a 6, give me a 4. Okay, and an 8 is 8.
Okay, for Granka, you just grabbed the shield, you shoved it back at him, he kind of staggers back, but repositions his spear over his shoulder, sets it, totally switches up his style, and it kind of catches you off guard. The shield where it is, pushes it forward, kind of staggers you back, take 4, and the spear comes over top and follows it. Everything he's been firing has been low underneath it. You got used to it. Comes over the top of the spear, and
I'll give you a hug.
It cuts you real deep underneath the arm. You feel blood starting to pour forth there. Take 12. A human has not hurt you this bad ever. In fact, you don't think you've ever been hurt this bad. The chittering outside the cave is growing louder and louder.
All right.
Does anybody in this room, besides Hergranka or Eric's, or besides Hergranka or Rainmar, speak Nolish? Eric's, do you speak Nolish?
Oh, so I never finished that part.
That's
I have
fine.
3 open slots left.
That's fine.
I would assume that, like, how much time I'm spending around Knowles, it's a strong possibility.
I'm going to say no, though, given your background. I'm going to say...
Well, obviously not. This would be something that I'm learning right now.
Yeah, you would understand stuff like Egyptian and Coptic probably would be your...
You did say I was starting to pick up some of their language last session.
True. That is true.
Yeah, I would guess that he's... Because we talked about that. Remember we were talking about that, Magnus? About your languages before?
Yeah. Okay. What you do hear, Eric's, is the shaman says something very quickly in Nolish to the front of the towards the front of the cave, and he says something like he knows Gerlach, whatever that means.
Okay, and I'm gonna macho posture, which is crazy for like this thin Hermes little dude, and I'm just gonna kind of like walk up and go, "Hey, bitches, best stay back."
The chittering is louder and louder. It's almost like the entire tribe has convened over by the front of the cave now, and they're all
then I'll brandish my rod.
Okay, you brandish your rod.
Excuse me?
Dude.
Exactly. Hergronka, it's your turn. What will you do?
I'm Greek, man.
You're at the point right now where he's pressed you pretty hard. It's kind of one of those now or never moves, you feel like.
Can I...
This is... Somebody hit him. We're going to... Because this is wild light.
Facts, bro.
Can I thrust down over the shield?
You can try, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
One other thing, Hergronka. To do that, you're going to have to let go of the shield because you still have grabbed it. If you want to, you can just grab... If he's got the shield, you can kind of try and throw his whole body if you want to.
Let's do that.
Make me a 20.
I like how cinematic this is.
7.
What direction?
You would, pervert.
Behind me.
Behind you.
Yeah.
Raymar, please roll me 5d6.
5d6. Oh my goodness. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is a total of 10, 17, 18, 19.
Okay, never mind. You're over it. Okay, Raymar, you had the move just right. You came over the top of the shield. The shield got him real square, but he still had a hold of it. He had the spear over top of it. You came at him, but he is so strong. He manages to grab you and get you off of your feet and kind of you feel yourself tumbling through the air. You don't take any damage, per se, but he has some distance on you, and you're now at the top of the wall over there. You kind of skitter to the ground, gather your feet again.
Okay.
There's a little bit of distance between the two of you now. You can see in this flickering, inconsistent torchlight in this room, the smoke is in the air because there's really almost no ventilation. You can see blood coming out of all kinds of wounds. He's snarling, drooling, foaming at the mouth. His eyes are wild and full of violence and malice in them. Now at this point, Raymar, I need you and Hergronka to roll me both a 6-sider.
Oh.
Wild light in a wild fight, somebody says.
That's a 6, baby.
What do you got, Hergronka? 5, 4. Okay. Raymar.
I got a 4 too. Just in case these shitheads start coming in and this witch doctor decides to try and do something sideways.
You're on the ground at this point, but the sandals of Hermes have you so fast right now that you're able to strike before Hergronka. You twisted in the air, landed on your feet way quicker than a normal human could have. You find your footing, you've got the shield and the spear, you're ready to go. What are you going to do? You've got about maybe 10 feet of distance between the two of you. But it's a reminder of just how strong Hergronka is, that he can throw you around like you are a baseball.
So a question, when we roll initiative, does it reset the 2 for 3?
That resets the 2 for 3, yes.
Do I get the feeling that he's pretty banged up at this point?
He's pretty banged up. You look at him and you're guessing maybe he's probably got half of his life left.
But I'm not trying to kill him.
Okay.
Oh, it's like that. Fucking Knowles, man. Alright.
What will you do?
I'm gonna go for it. Again, I'm gonna press with the
shield.
Well, I'm gonna use the shield as a bridge. You know, it's just, Asperion taught me to kind of tilt the shield just a little bit sideways.
Yep.
And almost like a pool cue bridge.
Yep, exactly.
So last time I did shield and spear. This time I'm gonna line it up and go spear and then shield. Like this.
Okay. I had to do a lot of research on ancient Greek fighting to figure out how they use their shields in combat to figure this out. So yeah, that's a classic move. Go ahead. 220s.
220s. Don't fail me, Google. Oh, that's a 2.
Okay, and
a 1. Are you kidding me?
No. Hergronka, he comes at you with the shield and the spear, charging at you. some bit of loose rock on the ground from when you threw him. He kind of stumbles over it a little bit. So the shield kind of comes up short for you, and the spear is totally off balance, and he throws it right over your shoulder. Doesn't lose it, but the attack is wild and misses you. But he's exposed this time, Hergranka. What are you going to do?
Can I grab him by the throat and then slam him down on the ground?
Yes, you can. Make me a 20-sider, please.
I'll kill you.
Okay. 11.
Who's driving you
Hergranka.
home tonight?
Rainmar, what you feel is this massive knoll. His hand shoots forth, grabs you by the throat. You can smell the rot on from the meat, the rended meat on his fur, all the blood there. He grabs you by the throat, pulls you into the air, and slams you down to the ground. Make me 2d4, Hergranka. And also roll me a 20, Rainmar.
1 and 2.
Okay. Again, you're an accomplished enough fighter at this point. The sandals of Hermes must be helping you speed-wise, because even though he slams you to the ground, you're like a cat and just roll out of it and almost land on your feet. You hit the ground and kind of bounce back up. Take 3 more. What are you going to do, Rainmar?
Am I even in a position to... How close am I to this clown? I mean,
right now, because he slammed you onto the ground, you're right there at his... You guys are face-to-face, almost.
All right, well, one thing that Asperian taught me is whenever the tables get turned on you, you sort of do a field effect move with the spear. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to kind of go... You know, it's going to look like a wild shot, but it's a trained thing, okay?
Yep.
So I cover up like this and bang, like this.
Using it, going around the rim of the shield and coming back around. Make me your 20, please.
That's right. It's just 1.
Hey, Snafu, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. We're in the middle of a massive fight between Rainmar the Wild Knight and Hergranka, the Knoll champion.
All right. We've got 15.
Oh, nice shot. Make me a D8, please.
Okay. That's a 7.
You'll notice, by the way, that you're able to use your attack against large-sized creature with your spear because you're going to your proper style. Before, I was penalizing you, letting you only use the against small creatures.
Yeah, I was
Hergranka, he comes around with the spear. At first, you're not really sure what he's doing, because he looks like when you slam him to the ground, you thought he might be losing the spear, dropping it, because he just kind of whirls around. But then you see the silver tip of it in the air as it comes around, and you realize that it's coming right towards your chest. He buries this one straight through your chest and your shoulder, almost like locking up your left arm, bone through bone with the blade of it. Take 7. Right now, you have 2 hit points left. What will you do?
Oh, God.
They're chittering behind you. You can hear them exhorting you. You can feel the blood in your mouth. You can see the blood that's coming out of his wounds. The fever pitch of the battle is just like beating like war drums in your ear.
And Patrick, I don't mean to backseat DM here, but what you hear when they're chanting is Rainmar, Rainmar, over and over again, and you're heartbroken by this, right? I mean, you just
I don't see why you just don't roll over.
Exactly.
Hergranka, at this point in time, if you wish to, you could concede, but by doing so, you would lose faith in the tribe.
Right. I'm going to reverse grip my glaive and slam down into his face.
Okay, make me a 20.
12.
Okay. Rainmar, the glaive comes up through the air. You see the shining tip of it. It comes down like a lightning bolt from Zeus right towards your face, but the shield is up right in time to block it. Hit it right in the center. The power and the force of it just makes your arms shudder. It almost makes your teeth rattle. It hits you so hard. But you manage to block it with no damage. What will you do? You realize you've hurt him badly now. One more shot, and he's done. You're sure of it.
Am I close enough to whisper in his ear?
Yes, you are.
Okay. What about like a little kiss?
Yeah. If you want to try that, if you like that scent of rotting meat that much, sure.
I make an announcement in Nolish that it is not in our best interest to waste the life of such a worthy opponent, such a combatant.
Hagranka, you hear him say this, and cackles to ghosts next to Eric's, takes his staff and pounds it on the ground and says, I agree. The challenge is over. You hear the chittering at the front of the cave just stop dead. Hagranka step back. He looks
I'm
over
just going to yell, we are only powerful together.
He looks over at you, Eric's, and says, tend to your wounded and I will tend to mine.
I nod at him and run over there.
You run over to Rainmar. Hagranka, you feel the Knoll Shaman come over towards you. You can feel all of the eyes of the tribe burning into your back behind you, Hagranka. The chittering has stopped completely. What will come next, you have absolutely no idea. Because this is not how the Knolls fight, usually.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually to the death.
Settle down.
So, Eric's, what are you going to do? You're over there next to Rainmar.
Just kiss him on the forehead and wish him luck. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. So I got a couple of cure light wounds here.
Okay.
I'll fire one up and cover him, and then I'll just whisper. I'll lean forward and say, that was really well done. If we want to make sure that these are allies, you're going to have to let this guy save face somehow. I don't know how, but you're going to have to figure it out with your no blood, whatever you've got. We got to figure this out.
Eric's, Rainmar, what you see is Eric's holds up his staff, his rod, the Caudicus rod. He puts it across your chest. You feel it start to glow, and this golden kind of light is transferring through the air into you. Your wounds are starting to heal up all across your body. The helmet is resonating with it. It feels like it's reacting to the divine power in the air. Hagranka, the Knoll Shaman, looks down at you when you're just a bloody mess, and he's beginning to wrap your wounds in this bloody rags, dirty rags. It's all you guys really have that's left to the tribe. He's binding you. You're very well aware of the fact that the shaman cannot heal wounds per se. The might of your god does not allow him to do that.
Can I notice that, Carlos?
Yes, you can. It is survival. Well, you can notice the fact that he's a total jabroni when it comes to actually healing people.
Yeah,
he's
it's starting to occur to me that they don't really do that.
Yeah,
it's part of their culture.
Yeah, it's
you
not part of their
die or
culture.
you're victorious, right?
Exactly. You're either you get carried home on your shield or not. So he's binding the wounds as best as he can, and you hear him muttering something to Hagranka about you have one more challenge left. There is still time.
Okay, so I'm gonna basically notice this turn and look at Rainmar and say, I got one left. Do you want me to take care of this guy? How do you want to cover this? You want to announce this somehow? It might be weird for me to go fix him.
Hagranka, by the way, I don't know if you are watching Twitch right now, but Lord Grundwolf says, Hagranka, cheap shot Rainmar in the back.
Don't do it.
What are you going to do, Rainmar? We're going to tell him
brothers.
So wait. What is the what?
Eric has just told you that he can tell that the shaman of the Knoll tribe cannot heal. That's not part of their culture. So he's asking you if you want him to use one of his remaining heal spells on Hagranka.
Not until we're back to our temple, before the next challenge begins.
Okay.
But then I think it's appropriate because we'd be in our own place, and I want him at 100% to face the next challenge.
Okay.
All right. But okay, you got an opportunity here to shift the culture. You know what I mean? But your call.
Well, I mean, if you want to offer, well, I mean, we have not made this alliance secure yet.
Something is happening at the front of the cavern. You hear a voice back there, Eric's and Raymar. Get out of the way, get out of the way. Get out of the way, come on.
I know
you see this
is.
orc pushing through the front to get into the cave. Pushing through knolls to get there. He runs into the cave, walks past Hergranka and the shaman, kneels over next to you. How you feel? You look good out there.
You know, I'm feeling okay, brother. I'm feeling like I'm ready to go home.
Because that knoll's pretty strong.
You almost can't believe it.
Meanwhile, Hergranka, you're sitting there with the shaman, and the queen, the Carrion queen, walks up to you, the leader of the tribe. She looks at you, up and down. Can you fight still?
I can.
She nods. She looks over at Cackles to Ghosts, like you're not really sure whether or not she feels like she should rebuke him or she should agree with him. In the end, she says nothing and just turns around and walks back to the front of the cavern. She says, "We leave in 2 hours. The second challenge comes. Gather your strength. It seems to me you may need it."
He's knocking on Hades' door.
She looks back at you. She says, "If Yinagu should want him in his army, then who is he to refuse?" He turns around and walks away. Cackles with Ghost looks back at you, Eric's, and just kind of nods in your direction, almost as if to say, "Thank you for trying." Hagaka, I will do what I can to heal you, but...
I give him a smile and kind of shrug a little bit like...
Yeah. He doesn't seem like he's as against you, maybe, as the Carrion Queen was.
I kind of point at his ribs, and then I go, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Okay, guys. We're going to move over now from the Prime Material plane.
Oh, God.
We are now moving over, instead, somewhere very, very far away from that. As you can see, you are now on the plane of shadow. Agrias the Tenebrous Hand. The last time we saw you, you had gathered Alta Teresa, fled the city, and found yourself in a very large, dark forest. The air here is full of darkness. The trees almost seem like they're made out of shadow. This deeper umbral color that stretches skeletal fingers with no leaves, scraping the air. There is no light here. There's only places of less darkness that filter through the air like a photographic negative of the world, just kind of raining down upon your body. You realize that your order, the Elvish order that you once belonged to, is now well and truly out to kill you in Alta Teresa. Wandering through this forest, looking for anything, any kind of possible place where the two of you guys can hold up. Alta Teresa says nothing. She just holds your hand at your side as you run forward, making it your way through the forest in the darkness. That's where we left you last time. Have you had any chance to think about how you want to proceed?
Wait,
scenery transition, guys.
Didn't we set up? We spent the night in a cave or something, right?
You did in a small, the mouth of a small cave. If you wish to, you can explore deeper into the cave. The cave actually goes back quite a distance. It's got this kind of labyrinthine tunnels in it. Or you can go out into the forest itself.
God, both seem foreboding.
Your training tells you that the cave being a little bit more of a of confined space, you may be able to face less amount of enemies at a time.
Let's do that then. Let's go through the cave.
Okay, you begin to go through the cave, winding your way through it. Alta Teresa doesn't say anything. She's very quiet at your side until you ask her anything. You can tell that the trust that she puts in you is pretty much implicit at this point.
Uh-huh.
As you walk through the cave, there's a couple things that occur to you. Here there is no moss, no lichen, no fungi. There are no insects. Everything is dead still and silent. The rock that lines the cave is completely made of obsidian, wending its way deeper and deeper into the heart of the plane of shadows. Darkness is enveloping you. You can see within it just fine because of your training, your unusual background dealing with shadow. You can see through it just fine. You're relying on your blind fighting skill where you can see kind of around you 360 degrees without. But you can tell that Alta Teresa, she's just a child. She hasn't learned this yet. And so she's just kind of holding. You can hear her every once in a while stumble next to you as she just holds your hand and tries to let you lead her deeper into the cave. You go forward probably about another 500 feet, winding your way through the cave. And it comes to a fork in the cave. You can go to the left or you can go to the right. On the ground at the fork of the cave is a rune that has been scratched into the floor. What will you do?
I look at Alta Teresa and ask her, don't say it, but do you know this rune?
She shakes her head, no.
Do I know this rune?
Yeah, actually you do know this
Okay.
rune. You've seen this rune once before. It's the rune for in the way that there are concepts in certain languages that do not translate into English. This rune is written in ancient Elvish. And it reads something to the fact of welcome and beware at the same time.
Nice.
It's also an interesting rune in that it is shaped in such a way that it looks like it could be read by multiple different languages.
Okay.
For example, its angles and such are in such a way that it may be actually form a dwarven character as well. It may actually form several different languages at once. It's very clever in that regard. Whatever made it has to be very intelligent.
And it's on the ground. It's on the side of the cave.
It's on the ground, on the floor.
Okay.
Press forward to the left or to the right.
I'm going to press forward to the left.
Okay. You press forward to the left. You go forward probably about another 100 feet. And you sense that the area opens up into a great cavern. And when I say great, we're talking probably about 500 yards diameter, roughly circular. Height-wise, it's probably about 100 feet high.
It's pretty big.
Yeah. It's silent, absolutely silent. Yet at the same time, you feel like there's something at the back of it. Maybe multiple somethings rolling around. Kind of twisting slowly.
Twisting. Okay.
Twisting.
And I can't see anything?
No. Oddly enough, you can't. Alta Teresa is just kind of standing there with you. Every once in a while, she looks behind you. You can tell she can't see what the hell is going on.
Right. Okay, I'm going to kind of caress the side of the wall and go around to whatever I hear slithering.
Okay, you reach back behind you and you touch the wall. The wall is not rocky here, per se. It doesn't have that unfinished feeling. It's very smooth, like glass. In fact, looking at it closely, you're that close to it. It's kind of a part of it that's kind of almost bulges out a little bit from the rest of the wall. It's really smooth, like volcanic glass, all the way along its length.
Huh, okay.
Continue to go forward?
Yeah.
Okay. You're creeping along the wall, creeping along the wall, creeping along the wall. And right about where the entrance to it was, you're standing there and you feel motion and you look back and you see two great ovular gemstones just appear in the darkness. One of them is they're about both the size of 3 men's heads. They look like opals, kind of a milky white color.
Okay.
And it takes you a moment to realize the fact that because of their size, their eyes.
Okay.
Alta Teresa looks over. She can see those in the darkness. And the thing starts to move, kind of craning around towards the middle of the room. Your hand touching the side of the wall, you feel this obsidian moving along with it. And you realize that it's part of its body, whatever it is. The snake-like thing that curls up into the middle of the room, begins to crane up about 50 feet above you and lick down. These other things in the room are starting to move around and circle as well. Alta Teresa is shaking a little bit.
Okay, it's a good thing I'm strapped right now.
The opals roll down close to your face. They come over maybe about 10 feet from you. Even though the opals are there, you can feel something only inches away from your face. Breath coming at you. Very cold. It almost feels like it trickles, like the breath has fingers of its own that caress your skin. It looks down at you. And as it gets closer, your blind sight is able to realize the form that is there. It is this long reptilian head, short ears, connected to this serpentine body, long leathery wings folded up behind it. It comes over and looks down at you. Welcome and beware, it says, and looks down at you.
I just smile and go, are you the one that wrote that?
I am. I've been expecting you for some time, Agrayas. It looks at you. Come, children. Meet our friend Agrayas. And as she says that, you see other pairs of opals open their eyes in the room, on the sides of them, and begin to come towards you. To the left of the room, one of the shadow dragons that approaches you comes nearing. The other of them comes smaller than... These two are smaller than the big one that's looking down at you. They're only looking at you from a height of maybe 10 feet above. I would introduce you to my children, Agrayas. This is Esrala, and this is Jarinka. She whispers down in
And I eat it, mother.
No, Jarinka. While your bloodlust is inspiring, to say the least, this is the one that your sister predicted would come.
No.
You see, Agrias, we are not unlike your myths, 3 in 1. It is my daughter Asrala's gift to see the future. It is my daughter Jarinka's gift to see the past. I see the present, all things. You come for shelter.
We do.
She looks down at Alta Teresa, and you bring a most important bounty. She looks over at Asrala, looks over at Jarinka, comes back down at you. You have safe haven amongst us for the moment.
For the moment.
Yes, for the moment.
Until it happens.
She looks down at you. Until it happens indeed. You are chaste right now. Yes? The light, you bring it behind you in the form of your former allies. You see, Jarinka has seen the past, but Asrala has seen the future. They will come to you here, and so soon you must leave. But for the moment, you are safe here. She looks over at Jarinka and Asrala. Please, my daughters, do not be shy. Introduce yourselves to our guest.
I just lean forward as close as I possibly can and boop Alta Teresa's nose with the end of my snout.
She almost jumps out of her skin when you do that. She looks at you. When she does that, Asrala, you're very, very accustomed to hunting in the darkness. Your mother has taught you well. And you can tell when a creature can't see in the dark. She can't see in the dark. So when you boop her nose, she just kind of jumps back a little bit. Terror in her features for a moment. She's holding you, Agrias, her hand shaking a little bit.
Are we capable of communicating with Alta Teresa as well? The languages are
You're speaking in common at this point.
Mutually intelligible. Okay. And does the shadow plane have a shadow common, or is it?
Yes, it's the inverse of common. Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, you speak with a very weird dialect. Everything you say is framed in weird orders, but
it's shadowed effectively. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I say to Alta Teresa, you have nothing to fear from me. Nothing to fear at all.
Agrias?
But me.
She looks over at you.
I am the one to fear.
Agrias, what are these things?
Entertain us you must. Out, our mother does not let us go. The future I see. But now, till then, you must tell us more.
I look down at Alta Teresa and say, they're used to playing with their food, as a joke.
Fear not, my sister, for she sees the past, but I see the future, and I can tell you she does not dine on your flesh this eve.
That's good, because Agrias is really strong and he's powerful. She says and nods. You can tell that she's scared out of her mind right now.
I pick her up and hold her.
Uh-huh. She holds you back and just kind of buries her head in your shoulder.
Please, young one, don't confuse my meaning. We fear not the elflings. And yet all things fear us.
Fear. All these things. They are a dangerous place that you are here in. There are many things just as strange and scary as we are. You must get used to this. You will be here.
My sister speaks true, of course, but few things are feared as much as we.
Indeed. Fear. Why, that is meat and drink to our kind, Agrias. We are the reason why children fear the darkness. When they come to their beds, it is us that they fear will slither forth. We are the primal fear. We are the first terror. But as I said today, you have nothing to worry about here.
No thing.
Soon, this will change. Esrala, peel back the layers of the future and tell Agrias what will come. Esrala, will you do that?
Yes, but I want to... Can I hover? Can I fly in such a way that I can hover in the air?
Yes, you can.
Agrias,
you feel these massive wing beats of one of the shadow dragons taking to the air in the room. It's so the air pressure is so great it whips up this wind around you in the darkness, but there's no rubble or anything in the room. So it's just swirling darkness all the way around you, like spirits roiling around in the night.
Hey, Carlos, can I thump the ground to make the ground itself waver a bit?
If you wish. Mm-hmm.
From the air, I want to push wind as I regale them of the future. Can I sort of include the breeze? Can I waft them with the strength of my wings as I reveal?
Okay. Make me a percentage dice, Estrala.
Percentage dice. That's what we need. You need that motherfucking percentage dice.
As you can tell, the bard is strong in him.
You know it's a 53.
Okay. Esrala, you can see in the future that tomorrow, after Agrias and Altarissa wake up, they wake up in the curls of your mother, who has made a spiral around them.
With her body?
Not only will she bid them to leave the cavern, she will bid you and your sister to go with them. Because they must be protected for some reason. You can tell that the words that she uses is that they are the essence of shadow, and without them, we cannot be.
My sister and I are twins.
Yes, you are.
And we probably can communicate non-verbal pretty well.
Yes, very much so.
Okay, rather than saying that out loud, I give our mother a little bit of a look, and I set the weight of that look on her for a second before I kind of abandon her and look at my sister with a kind of the weight of the future. You know, communicating it without saying it out loud.
Jarinka, your two gifts allow you that kind of twin speak that you can almost tell exactly what the other one is thinking at any given time.
Yeah.
and consequently, you know exactly what she sees.
I basically transfer psionically 3 words: expected, excited, and terrified.
Mm-hmm.
Can we just have that as a standard of communication? Like
yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Okay, so it'll be like my communication back to her will be like wing beats,
right?
And then maybe hers is like the stomping on the ground.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, we fly together.
Always.
Mm-hmm. And then the way I'm going to communicate the future of what I saw, can I share the not the exact vision, but can I share the sensation of what I'm kind of acting as an oracle for the future? Can I share that?
Why don't you make me a percentage dice?
Yeah. I want to share it with Agrias and
Alta Teresa.
This is gonna be a percentile. We have a 62, and this is what I want to do.
Such is the strength of your mind compared to an elf and an elf child. Your thoughts, your merest thoughts, can be so profound that you can project them upon them because you're psionic.
This is the feeling that I want to put. And can I include my sister in the emotion because of our twin bond? I'm just going to convey without even saying anything, but kind of wrapping my tail around them as I come down and my wings embrace them. Mm-hmm. It's almost like an interpretive dance to communicate that sensation.
Okay.
And the idea that our way forward is together.
I snake my tail opposite, but align it so that it's basically like yin and yang.
Right.
And we snake our tails in a protective barrier around the elves. And then basically just come forward and rest our long, sinuous snake necks the opposite way in a way that creates this obsidian cell or barrier of protection around them.
Magnus, it's almost kind of like a yin and yang symbol, but 3-dimensional.
Yeah.
Kind of
Agrias,
like a dome of obsidian.
Yeah.
This crazy movement that implies so much communication, so much information without almost even with not completely non-verbally. The way that she moves her wings and makes the shadows dance, you can almost see figures in them. You can almost see what she's conveying. The way that the tails wrap around you, you feel that feeling of protection. It becomes clear to you what the vision of the future is. And it becomes clear to you that you've also just gained 2 very, very powerful allies.
Can I die roll to see if our mother is aware of the decision she's going to make tomorrow?
What you know is this. What your mind is to Agrias's, her mind is to you.
Okay.
Your mother, there are many people that come to this cave to gain her wisdom as an oracle. Because she sees all things, she claims, in the present.
But her province is the present, so in order to see the past or the future, she has to connect with us.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
But psionically we can, right?
So yes, and so what is happening here is because she has access to both of you, and she has access to herself, she will absolutely knows what's about to happen.
Like a shared mind almost.
Right.
So when we leave tomorrow, it's a little bit like Hunan and Munin leaving Odin behind.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right.
So Agrias, you're there in the middle of the room with the 3 dragons, the shadow dragons. And she says to you, "You have seen the future. Tomorrow they will come for the hunt again. But you will not be here. you will be with my 2 daughters. She looks over at you, Estrala, and Darenka, and she says, the future, the past, and the present, as you know, are one. It is simply dependent upon your location that matters. It's a vast tapestry creation, you see. But she looks at Agrias, kind of scratching out on the ground, idly with a claw that's as big as his thigh on the ground. She looks at you, says, you are important to us. They do not realize it, for you have enemies even in shadow, but all shadow should celebrate. You and she who will be queen one day. She looks down at Alta Teresa. I know that we cannot be without you. And so my daughters will protect you. The ones of the light, the elves, they will come here. And I will be waiting. You will have time to escape. They will not return here.
Do you advise direction we go?
She nods. All things here in this world are the reflection of your own, whether you know it or not. That place that you left, the city, that is Ranam. Backwards, Marner. If you were to go to the east, she says, you would normally fall into the ocean, but that is not so. Here, you would go towards your old monastery. If you were to go to the north, normally you would be in the woods. Instead, you would be heading towards the place that will one day be her kingdom. It falls to you to determine whether you wish to run or to fight. But now, she looks at her daughters, you will not be slaughtered, regardless of the choice you make.
We are grateful for your protection.
All things have shadows, you see. You have learned the mystery of shadow, that by controlling the shadow, so you control the light. They have not learned this mystery yet. She nods. This is your greatest strength.
Intertwined we are. The past.
The present. And she looks over at Estrella. And the future to be. Smiling at Agrias. She rolls herself around the yin-yang symbol in a big circle. And it's almost symbolic, Agrias. The past and the present, and the future, I should say, wrapped around you, who are in the midst of everything. And like she said, the present being this vast tapestry. It's this whole symbolic kind of thing that you're seeing in the middle of the room.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep now. Rest. Tomorrow I will ensure that you have edible food for your kind. You have traveled a long way. But tomorrow you will travel still farther. You should be ready.
Thank you.
A nod. Now, going back to our Knowles for a moment.
You mean the ones that I beat into oblivion? Yeah, let's get back to those guys.
Going back to the Knowles. Let me get back to the Radic environment for a second.
Radic.
Okay. So now you've also learned something interesting about the way the Plane of Shadow works, Patrick, in that the most important thing for you to remember is that everything is a photographic negative of itself. There is, the city that you were in before was actually Marner. It was just the reverse version of it. So now, going back, though, to this part of our game, at the Knowles, A few hours after your fight, Raymar, is there anything that you and Eric's wish to do in order to before you end up leaving to the temple?
Not for me. No, I would make haste back to the temple. Having left only the monks there to defend it and the flame wolves, I'd like to get back.
Okay. Raymar, you go ahead and you leave back for there. The Gnolls say that they will leave shortly afterwards to join you there. They have to make preparations to go.
Okay. I suggest to them that they should bring whatever supplies and provisions they need to stay overnight.
A nod.
That they would be welcome guests in the temple.
A nod. The daughter of the queen, when you were to recommend that, she would tell you that this is our home here. We will return after the war. And the mother says, there is nothing left to defend here. It would be foolish. She looks at you, Raymar. Regardless of whether we win or we lose tomorrow, we will accept your... What is the human word? Hospitality. I think. Yes?
Well,
They all kind of look confused. There's no word for that in Gnollish.
It's hospitality if our bond is not secured by the next test. It's obligation to family if it is.
A nod. She looks over at Cackles to Ghosts. Prepare her Granka for the next trial. Eric's, you and Raymar begin to leave. Cackles the Ghosts comes up to you, as does Irilaka, the daughter of the queen. He looks at you. He says, he starts getting ready to say something, and Irilaka looks at you. She goes, do you know what you did wrong? You'd best figure it out. She says, looking at you, next time he might not show you mercy.
I'm pretty upset that I lost, so I am just ready to get back in the ring.
She nods. She looks at you. She drops her glaive. She says, I seem to have dropped something. And turns around and walks away.
I pick it up.
You see it's a brand new shining glaive. It's one that she took from the dead body of a slain orc chieftain when you guys destroyed the red-handed orc clan. It's very potent. It shines, it glows under the light of the moon. You know that. She turns and walks away. Cackles to Ghosts looks at you. Almost like admiringly a bit, because this is something there's no such thing as charity in Gnoll culture. The fact that she did that to you is it's a sign of something, but you're really not sure what. It's hard to interpret really what she might have meant by that, but she walks away. Cackles to Ghosts says to you, I'm going to prepare you properly this time. We're going to give you the blessings of Yinago if you wish them. He nods. He says, there is no rule that we gave about being protected. I will make sure that you are protected. He takes off a fetish that he has around his neck and he puts it around yours. It's this raven skull with black feathers that come around it. Reaches up with his skull staff, puts it on your shoulder, puts it on the other shoulder, puts it on your forehead. says, the triple flail of Yinagu kisses you, and it has not found you wanting. When you go, he says, you will defeat the Wildlight, but you will not kill him. He looks back and forth around himself in the cave, and he says, this is not our way, I know, but something happened here. Something important. He looks back and forth, almost like he wants to make sure that the queen isn't anywhere around to hear this.
Right.
If you defeat him, do not kill him. He is watched over by his gods, just as you are. And he may be... He pauses. He may be what enables us to see another dawn. The queen does not understand this. She respects only strength. This is why you have become our champion. She respects your strength, courage. She does not know another way. And neither did you until now. Did you see what happened? He could have killed you, but he didn't. It was not disrespect. Unusual,
Yes.
This is the human way. If we are to walk among them, we will need to remember that. Now come. You have the blessing. You have a weapon and a shield. He nods at the fetish.
Mm-hmm.
To give you more would be unfair. And we are still gnolls. We are still the children of Yinagu. Children of the Lord of Slaughter. He nods. Walks out of the cave with you. I need you to make me a 20, Herganka.
12.
Out of the corner of your eye, you know you weren't meant to see this. You hear the shaman take his staff, and he snaps it in half and throws it in the corner of the cave.
Okay.
And he says, something under his breath, translating to, I am done with you, Yinagu.
Okay.
You don't know what that's supposed to mean either. But
yeah.
Anyway, Rainmar and Eric's, you're walking back to the temple. There's no real you're unmolested on the way back. Everything seems totally fine. It's a cold day up in the mountain peaks. I need you both to make me a 20-sider, though.
Listen, you were trained by the best, and I get that, buddy, but next time, don't lead with your chin, okay?
Jesus. Okay.
Will you make me a 20?
I got a 9.
Rainmar.
Hold on. I think it was a 7.
He's
Hold on.
fallback special
7.
interest.
Okay. As you are walking back, as you leave the cave, the first thing that you notice is there's no more ravens that are waiting on the rocks that they had there. Remember, they're called the Ghost Walkers. The whole area used to be overrun by ravens because they were awaiting the kill. They would pick the dead bodies and everything like that. The fact that there's no ravens there at all kind of gives you pause for a moment, and then you notice something odd. All around the area, for about maybe 100 feet, there were a lot of creatures here not long ago. Maybe 100, maybe 150, but they never came closer than 100 feet. Now, not being rangers, it's hard for you to track, see what exactly it was, but there was a lot of something here. Eric's Rainmar, what will you do?
Well, just to clarify, there are clear tracks, or just the sense that something has been...
No, clear tracks. Clear tracks.
Headed...
Non-null.
I didn't say that.
That's what I'm checking.
Oh, you're going to look for it? Make me a percentage die. Remembering that you're not a ranger.
Right. I mean, the difference between a paw and a footprint should be pretty obvious, right?
Yeah.
38.
And it sure is obvious. They were gnolls.
Okay.
Hundreds of gnolls were here recently.
Are these your friends, Rainmar?
No.
How many, enemy tribes are there?
In this area, I'm not sure. No less than 2, though. It's likely at the enemy tribe in which they're trying to defend against. We need to get back to the temple post-haste. We need to also let them know, although they probably know. I mean, they can see tracks for enemies. We should probably let them know and make haste back to something fortifiable.
I know. We should get them here now, because our temple is much more defendable, especially with all of the labyrinths within. And if we want to construct a alliance with these groups, we should get them here now. This is a lot of gnolls.
Let's do it.
Okay, so you're going to contact the queen then? You're going to go back and tell her something?
Do I have some sort of messenger spell?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, who are you going to talk to?
Wait a minute. How far are we from... You said the gnolls were going to be just behind us?
Yeah, they said they were coming after you.
Do any of the tracks lead to the temple?
Trying to follow them? Yes, they do. A lot of them. They look like they were following your tracks.
So they were following...
They got here, saw your tracks, and decided to follow them, it looks like to you.
So they followed our tracks toward the temple, or they followed our tracks from the temple?
No, they followed them to the temple. Are you going to...
So they got ahead of us?
Yes.
Do you wish me to report back to the group and tell them to hurry?
Well, it depends on how far behind... How far are we from the Gnoll encampment?
Your temple is probably about 10 miles from the Gnoll encampment.
No. How far are we from the Gnoll encampment?
Oh, from the enemy Gnoll encampment?
No. Okay.
Oh, how far was it? Yeah, you're still right there. You're only 100 feet away.
Oh, okay. We're still at the Gnoll encampment.
Yeah, you're still there. You haven't quite left yet.
Get them together. Yeah, let's do this. Okay. Let's attack our own temple. I mean, let's do
Eric's, what are you going to do? Who are you going to speak to?
The shaman, of course. Okay. He and I have a bond.
Well, you walk in, you pass a bunch of the gnolls. No one really says anything. Nobody really bothers you.
I'm weird. They don't respect me. I'm a little dude. Yep.
Well, not only that, but her Granka is standing there. He's walking towards the front of the cave. When you see him, her Granka looks like a gnoll possessed. He looks like he is ready for war. But you've managed to find Cackles to Ghosts, and he looks at you and he says, "I thought you had left."
I have a message.
And that is?
The enemy gathers and heads towards the temple now. If we want to seal this alliance, we must pick up the pace quickly and match the step of Rainmar, the Wildlight.
He nods. I will tell my queen we will move immediately.
May I heal your champion in readiness for this battle?
Do so, but do not let him know you do it. He will see it as disrespect.
So would be a hug.
He shrugs his shoulders. He says, if that's what it takes.
I will do my best. Your culture is not my own.
Okay. Eric's, then what are you going to do? You see him standing there in the middle of in the middle of the room. He looks like he's getting the balance of his glaive.
Just give him a little grab, you know. Just
a little something something.
This is how we do it in my culture.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay. I'm sure
You feel that tingle? That's just romance.
The quick ball grab. That always
romance, man.
Quick ball grab. Okay, so what are you gonna do?
Okay,
Eric?
like gonna send him out on the field with a little ass slap, right? Like a coach.
Okay.
Coach is sending him off.
Roll me a D6. Roll me a D8, I should say.
Okay. This is what could possibly go wrong. I got a 7.
Eric, Hergranka, you're standing there getting the feel of the weight, because it's more. There's more weight behind it of her glaive than yours, but there at the same time it's lighter. It's really strange. The human walks past you, bids you some kind of a greeting, kind of slaps you on the backside. You feel, but when he does that, you realize that the blessings of the god must be upon you. You feel much better when he does it.
I'm gonna be like strutting, acting all macho.
Yeah, you feel like the warding that the shaman gave you must really be working, because you get 8 hit points back.
So, and the shaman is saying that in order that Wildlight can show us the new way, these humans can.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna take this as a learning experience,
mm-hmm.
and turn around and slap him on the backside as well.
Okay. Eric's, you slap a good time, whatever. You're like a half step away. You think you're out of his reach, but his reach is massive because he's 7'7", and when he swats you on the backside, you end up like 4 feet forward. You should have been. It's like, whoa! That's gonna leave a welt.
I am shocked you didn't make him roll damage.
No.
Fully expecting
it's too much fun. It's too much fun not to.
Buttock from that, yeah.
Okay, so hey, Greyhawk Mike, it's great to see you, man. So your whole group begins the exodus towards the temple. Rainmar, you're leading the pack ahead. As you're following Hergranka, Cackles to Ghosts encourages you to join him. It's appropriate that the gnolls are also there at the front, so that the humans don't think that you're cowards. So you go ahead and you join him up at the front, and you notice that the tracks that lead to this cave that leads down to this temple, they stop at about maybe 500 feet away from the cave mouth, and it looks like they stopped and they fled in terror. They started to run back and forth. Rainmar, in the front of the cave, you see kind of this torchlight that's there, just inside the mouth. And as you kind of get a little bit closer, the two of you and Hergranka can see that a woman is standing in the cave mouth with a pair of torches. She's about maybe 7 foot tall. No, actually even taller, maybe about 9 foot tall, standing there. And there's a very short woman next to her.
Oh.
You guys get closer?
Well, it's my house. I'm going to walk right up and ask what the hell's going on.
Yeah, you get closer, and as you get closer, Jim, sorry about that. It's my Hawks that beat you. So you guys are going to win that series, so don't worry. Anyway, Rainmar, you get closer. You see that it's Hecate is standing there with the 2 torches. She has this impassive look on her face, gazing out, and you realize why the gnolls fled in terror. Standing next to her at about 5'3" she's got red hair, a braid that comes down her back, wire rimmed glasses, a book in her hand. Rainmar, you're here! She says, and she looks over at Hergranka and doesn't seem to know what to make of him.
Yeah, I'm here. We expected you sooner. Did you get delayed?
You can't believe it. This place is crawling with bad guys. She looks over at Hergranka.
Yeah. Well, these days, a lot of the so-called bad guys are friends of mine. Can I show you to your quarters?
Please. Your friend's really nice, but she doesn't talk much.
She speaks a
Hecate
language.
turns around and just begins to walk down the stairs again.
She speaks a language you're not familiar with, and I rattle off a thank you to Hecate in ancient Greek.
You think you see in the corner of her a tug of a smile in the corner of her mouth as she walks, just before she descends into darkness.
Can I give her like a really respectful bow?
Yes, Eric's. She nods in your direction as well, almost to the caduceus more than to you. Before she disappears. Hagranka, you're standing there with Rainmar. The short one in perfect Nolish looks up at you and says, "I am Calissa Intrati. I'm a friend." She says, looking up at you.
I just kind of look down at her and tilt my head.
Yeah, the last word doesn't mean anything to you. It's gibberish. There is no word for friend in Null. There is family, and there is enemy.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, she says. She looks down at you, up at you, like waiting for your response. I don't think he gets what I'm saying right now.
I just look down. Can I only wait? No. I just look down at her and kind of raise an eyebrow and say, "Friend."
And she looks up and she gets this big smile across her face. Yeah, friend, that's the word.
Okay, I sort of translate the concept by putting my arm around Calissa and saying family.
And I immediately like demonstrate slapping on the ass.
Okay. Oh, it makes perfect sense now, Hagranka.
You got it now.
Now it makes perfect sense. It's the slapping on the ass part that put it all together for you.
Right?
So
master of communication.
Right. So the whole of you, I would imagine, would go into the temple next?
I want to show Calissa to the quarters that I set up for her weeks ago. And that was sort of, I had put shelving in there, new bedding, whatever.
Right.
I can't remember the name. Demetrios and the so-called Medusa. I can't remember her name. Mm-hmm. Atria, I think was her name. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, well, those are the quarters that I set aside for Calissa.
Right. So she's walking through here, and you could just tell her mind as a historian is just spinning as you're walking down there. She's taking notes. This place is amazing. What is this? She's writing it down.
Carlos, does Eric's know who this is?
No, you've never met this person before. She's speaking that weird language that Rainmar speaks, but you can understand it for some reason.
I introduce Calissa and Eric's and just explain a little bit about... I can't make Calissa a priority right now because I have to handle this Knoll thing. So I just explained to her, hey, I want you to get settled in, get comfortable. We'll set you up with some food, and I have to handle it.
Are you going to tell her about the Knolls, the situation?
Yeah.
Okay.
She
looks a little worried about that. She asks you if you know what you're getting into culturally. Culturally, they're so much different than us.
I'll try and handle her while Rainmar's taking care of business.
Okay.
I'm sure you will.
It just starts with a slap on the ass.
In Nolish, I speak to Calissa because I think she has Nolish on her sheet.
She does.
In Nolish, I explained to her that it is possible that my blood extends back to a Knoll lineage.
She looks at you kind of askance for a second. It explains so much.
I hope you don't mean that in a bad way.
Well, these are our friends, right? Of course I don't mean it in a bad way. No, I mean it just explains like the way your hair is and your teeth. You've got those extended incisors a bit. She says,
"Well, I've always been a little bit wild." Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Rainbow, she's all academic.
Well, look.
So I put. I want to show her that secret door in Atria's room, which is now Calissa's room, obviously. This for any goods that you want to have safe when we fortify. Yeah,
she's running her fingers across the wall. Yeah, this is amazing. There's so much to learn here.
When you get stumped, you let me know, okay?
I will. What, do you know something about this place then?
I do, but looking into your heart, I know you want to learn it on your own first.
She smiles. It's that obvious, huh?
Let's just say I'm good at reading people.
Okay. Well,
Betrayal.
well, let's, okay, well, listen, before you go fight these gnolls, Rainmar, shouldn't we be casting spells on him, Eric's?
I think you misunderstand. I'm not going to fight the gnolls. If you want to follow along, Calissa, you're welcome to. The gnolls have agreed to a challenge of my devising.
Oh, well, yeah, I definitely want to follow that.
Follow me.
Okay. Hergranka, at this
he's
point,
taking over.
By this time, it's what he does. She shrugs her shoulders.
I know, right?
Does somebody smell something burning? She says as you guys are going down the hallway past the right in that ventilation area where the burning wolves, the fire wolves.
That's just the smell of awesome.
That's what it smells like. This is the scent of excellence. Can you? Have I heard from? Upon arriving, we got Calissa. We saw Hecate. How about Jonas? How about?
That's what I was going to explain to you. Jonas and the rest of them and Karak are in the actually in the temple proper, the main place where when you go down the stairs. That's where the gnolls were all going to group, and they were going to entertain them until you return.
Yeah, because we had that table set up.
Right.
So I want to address everyone.
Okay. Well, hold on just for one moment then, if that's what you're going to do. When you walk, Hergranka, you walk into this temple area, and I think at this point in time, it's a good opportunity for me to show you what you see.
So that would be excellent.
This is what you see. The gnolls are at the front of the area. There's many pillars in this room, in this chamber. The Wildlight and his friend, Eric's, the butt slapper, are they're near the rear of it. All of your gnolls have kind of gathered up in the front of it. The smell in the air, you can smell, it smells relatively fresh for being underground, like it was just cleaned recently, but you smell a vague sense of smoke somewhere. And you smell dogs somewhere.
It's better to be a butt slapper than a dog puncher.
I don't know about that. So okay,
I do.
Hergranka, Raymar comes out eventually with his friends, and what will you do, Raymar?
So I want to address. I want to express thank you and respect to the Knoll Queen. And for accepting the challenge that I'm about to put before them. Are the Flame Wolves present?
They can be if you want them to be.
Yeah, so in ancient Greek, I let them know that the challenge that's about to happen is going to be that the gnolls, in order to solidify our arrangement...
Butt slappage.
They have to successfully slap the ass of the Chimera and live to tell them. No, they have to defeat the Chimera.
The Flame Wolf says, the Alpha Flame Wolf looks at you and says, "You have no use for allies, then."
Maybe perhaps I just have a sense of humor, and I throw him a little bit of the meals that I prepare for them.
They devour it ravenously. Hergranka, you notice when they walk in the room, they are accompanied by this one wolf that you recognize as a warg because of the way that orcs run with them. It's about a waist-high warg, maybe about 8 foot long at this point. And behind them there are smaller canines, but they're all actually on fire. They're burning brightly. These are supernatural creatures. This is kind of taking you aback a little bit, but obviously you can't show weakness in front of these folks.
So Monty is actually bigger than the Flame Wolves now.
Oh yes, at this point.
Like twice the size, maybe.
Yeah, he's big. She's getting big.
Okay. I just make the announcement that in order to solidify our bond, there is a creature known as a chimera in a room that I will lead you to.
Mm-hmm. None of them even blink because none of them knows what a chimera is.
They will.
It's not a common a monster in the area.
I give them the knowledge. I give them the knowledge that we have. Things that we noticed about the chimera. Like the main thing is that it's so big it can't come through the door. So a lot of
the gnolls are exchanging glances between the bunch of them. Like, thank God I'm not Hagranka right now.
Well,
is what they're all looking at each other like.
I did tell them that they can send as many gnolls as they want. I just want the thing killed. If they kill it, I don't care if it's one person or 50. They just got to kill it. That's the challenge that I'm issuing, is I want that chimera ghosted.
They look at each other. Hagranka cackles to Ghost, says, looking at you. You are the one who has chosen to accept the challenge. Will you have anyone accompany you?
No.
All of them, the gnolls, nobody really says anything except for the daughter of the queen, who you could hear her starting to chitter a little bit, showing a bit of a fang, almost like excited by the possibility. That got her excited. She looks over at you and just nods. Brother Karak whispers in Rainmar's ear, "Are we really going to let him go in there by himself?"
Correct.
By light and darkness, may he be blessed.
Can I slap a bless on him, boss?
Eric's, you're going to cast bless on him?
I'm asking.
Yeah, you see Raymar nod. You catch it out of the corner of your eye. Kalissa comes over and she says, "Mr. Hagranka," she's looking way up at you. She says, "Here, take this." She hands you a copper coin. She goes, "It's my lucky coin. Maybe it'll help."
Okay. Stuff in my garb.
Uh-huh. Everything you recognize there, you understood the words for, but the concept of charity, people just giving you stuff, seems a little weird.
I'm going to take a different approach. I'm going to go over by the door that he's getting ready by, and I'm just going to make less, ridiculously flamboyant posturing about how I have to do this ritual to open the door, right? Okay. And I have to allow him to go through. And in the process of this, I'm basically going to throw bless into this and bless him.
The queen looks over at you, Rainmar, and she says, "Is there a way we can watch this?"
The door will be open. Please follow me.
Everybody starts following you down the hallway into the room.
I speak to the alpha flame wolf. And I say to him, although you may want revenge for our fallen brothers, wait until the right moment to lunge in there, because I want him to do it himself.
They're all kind of looking around at each other. You see some nods, some head nods around the area.
And the only other person that would understand is Eric's. Norik.
Norik would understand.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, please.
I open the door, and I tell everybody you might want to stand back, because this thing is crazy. I open the door, and I gesture for him to go in.
Okay. Are you, as soon as you open the door?
Yep.
Instantly, you are aware of this horrid noise and scent, Hirgraka, inside of this room, this chamber. It sounds like the growling of an animal that is hundreds of feet tall. It sounds, whatever is in here, whatever kind of creature is in here, is horrid beyond belief. Beyond belief. So you're gonna walk in nonetheless, I assume, right?
Yeah, I kind of give Rangmar a look like your challenge is that I have to clean your house. All right, okay. And then I just walk in.
Okay.
You are the younger brother.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you walk in the room, this is what you see. You see a creature that is absolutely monstrous in scope. It is absolutely monstrous. It is probably about 30 foot tall, you figure. It's got 3 heads. One of them is a goat's, one of them is a lion's, and another one is a dragon's head. You have never seen the like of this kind of a creature before. It is, how do I want to say this? It looks absolutely terrifying. Terrifying beyond belief. To give you an idea of what you're looking at in here, this is what you see. That black spot is this creature. You are the icon that is right through the door. The area is lit with this kind of inconsistent, gloaming kind of weird glow in there. Hergranko, you run in there or walk in there. Because the Chimera was not prepared for you, you have the first move. It has 4 feet. It's hard to see its heads at this point because they're so high above you. But they're starting to crane down towards you. And the whole thing is starting to turn in your direction. What do you do? Yeah.
I would have let him know about the secret door as well. Because we were giving him all the information we had.
Yes, the secret door in the back of the room. You can see it right there. The secret door, by the way, at the back of the room, Hergranka, has been destroyed. There's this empty space back there where a door once was. Rainmar, you're guessing that it saw, now that it sees people coming and going from it, it probably destroyed that and it was looking for them for food. Hergranka, it is your turn. What will you do?
It doesn't see me yet.
Oh, it sees you. It's well aware of your presence. It's growling from those 3 heads menacingly. You can feel the heat from the dragon head raining down upon you. You smell the scent of rot and festering flesh and ancient, almost decaying flesh all around you. It smells horrific as it looks down upon you.
I'm gonna go just bolt right between its legs and just slash upwards at its
abdomen,
chest. Yeah, belly.
Okay, you guys all see that as soon as Hergranka runs forward to this thing, you hear the other gnolls start whooping and chittering, and they're all chanting your name as you run underneath the thing. Make me a 20.
16.
Hergranka runs underneath it. And I'm going to actually put Hergranka on top of it right now so that you guys can see relative to its bulk where it is. You run underneath it. You take the glaive and you slice at it. When you slice at it, the head of it doesn't feel like the head of your glaive. But when it bites it, you know you heard it because you feel this black blood pour out of its belly. You hear the thing roar in pain. Roll me a d6 for damage.
5.
Ooh, 8 points of damage with your strength. You hit the thing. Rainmar, Eric's, you see him score. The thing is, the advantage that Gronka has that you didn't is he's so much taller, and using a reach weapon, he can get past. He doesn't have to attack legs. He can get to the body of it. And even though he has to stretch to do it, you tear into some of the flesh. As you tear it open, you can see just rot falls out of its body, out of its belly, onto the ground, splashing the ground, sizzling the marble floor when it hits, like this hungry acid that just burns into the ground. You hit it. Are you going to keep running, or are you going to stay where you are?
I'm going to keep running and just have it keep just scraping against its
What
abdomen.
direction are you going?
I'm going to head to the left side of the secret door and then kick off of it.
Okay. You're running to the left side of the secret door, and you're right about here right now. You see the things. It's having a hard time getting down at you with its head, but one of its head does not have to get down to you. Actually, two of them don't, to attack you. The first one, the lion head, roars out in just this bellowing voice that shakes your flesh, rattles your bones. Make me a saving throw, please, at 20.
Jesus. Come on. 17.
Oh, he makes a save. This primal fear rolls through you, but you just grit your teeth and fight through it. Even though it's shuddering you, making you shake, you just keep running. Your anger and your need you're fighting for the tribe's survival. It just pushes you through the fear of it. The other one, the dragon head, curls around, rolls back, and breathes fire down upon you. Make me a saving throw, please.
God. 15.
Oh my god. This guy does not kill easy. 7, 8. You feel licking flames roll up your back. Pain everywhere, but somehow you manage to twist and roll out of it. You saw what Rainmar did before when he twisted out of the way your attacks before, and you almost mimic it. Rainmar, you can see this Knoll learns fast. He actually adapted one of your moves. He hits the ground, rolls over it, only take 4 hit points of damage. Your choice. What are you going to do? You're still kind of underneath it. The goat head is looking like it wants to try and curl down and ram you, but it can't quite get to you.
I'm going to go for another slash through its belly again.
Okay. You run through again. Which direction? Where you started?
Yeah, I'm heading back to the door.
Okay. Running back to the door. Make me a 20-sider.
10.
Okay. You hit the thing. Your blade bounces off of an exposed rib, shakes your elbow through to the bone. Just the force of it's like hitting a steel pillar. It kind of almost makes you drop to your knee a little bit. Don't feel like it did any damage as you keep running through. The heads rear back around.
So, Carlos, Eric's is going to start like cheering along with the Knolls, sort of like a group thing. We're all part of the same team now.
Right. Eric's and Rainmar, you hear the Queen whisper into Cackles with Wolf's voice. Prepare a spell. What would you have me prepare, Carrion Queen? Speak with dead. I suspect we will soon need it.
And I have a question.
Yeah.
So I've had some time to speak with Eric's, and he probably knows far more about this chimera than I do.
Mm-hmm.
Does Eric's know that the chimera is undead?
Eric's, you have a suspicion. You're about 90% sure that this thing is undead.
Okay.
And then my next question is, Rainmar might not know, depending on how obscure the knowledge is, but Eric's would know. If you cast a healing spell on an undead, it does damage?
Eric's, that you know to be true.
Oh, absolutely.
You know that to be true. Any positive effect, like a heal, things like that.
Positive energy channeling.
Yeah, all do some kind of damage to undead.
I give Eric's the look that, if need be, we might consider casting a healing spell.
Kalissa is
subtly
working her way up to the front with you guys. She's kind of kneeling down so she can see, because you guys are all so much taller than her. She looks like she's terrified for Hergranka's safety. Hergranka, inside the room, the goat head curls back around it. Because of where you've run back at it, the whole body has to kind of twist for it, and it makes it so that the lion head doesn't get a chance to attack you either, but the dragon head will get a chance to attack you. It goes down and snaps at you.
Hey, Carlos.
Yeah?
I have turn undead, but, undead Chimera is not one of the things listed on here.
Yeah, that would be special.
Okay.
Begs the question, can I sort of give Kalissa the nudge as well? Everything we do has to be subtle, because when Hergranka...
Yeah, you can tell that she's flipping through her spell book right now, actually.
And I'm wondering if I can just sort of amongst the crazy going on, just slip into the room around the corner there.
I think you might be able to. It might.
What if I gave him the Hermes shoes, slippers?
I'm pretty sure if you gave him the Hermes shoes, he could.
Okay, that I do then.
Okay, Raymar, you're taking them off. You're going to give them to Eric's. Eric's.
Yep.
You can feel this resonation between you and the sandals. You can feel like, because of your connection with Hermes, that these may act differently with you wearing them.
It's my boss's boss.
Meanwhile, Hergranka, this dragon snaps at you, but you just in time you manage to get your glaive up. It bites down on the haft of the glaive. It tries to snap it between its teeth, and you hear one of its teeth break instead. It howls back and kind of staggers back just a little bit. What are you going to do?
How hard of a leap would I have to do to try and sever the head of the dragon?
You'd have to get up there, or you'd have to time it just right. You're thinking if you made it so it lunged down at you, and you maybe dodged the last second, you'd get a good shot at it, but you're also well aware that would leave you real vulnerable. If it fails, it's a risky move. But
can I run to the wall, jump off of it, and land on its back, and thrust down, and then charge my way up to the dragon head?
You see that the thing has a tail. You figure that you might be able to kind of rappel up its tail if you use the wall. You're tall enough, you might be able to jump up, grab its tail, and use it to get on its back. But again, it would be risky. If you failed, that's a lot of dexterity checks. You might fall and be prone.
Risky.
What does run do?
Run? Exactly that.
Is it self, or can I cast it on someone else?
You can cast on somebody else. Hergranka, what will you do?
I'm going to try and go for one of its legs to cripple it.
Okay, you can see one of them is scarred pretty bad before. It looks like somebody must have recently hit it in the leg not long ago. So you're gonna go for that wounded leg?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hergranka comes charging at the injured leg, which is actually on the wrong button.
14.
Hergranka, hold on for just a moment there, buddy.
No worries.
Hergranka, you charge at this thing's leg right over here, and go ahead and you hit it right in above the wound. A black ichor just comes pouring out. I need you to make me a 6-sider for damage, and then roll me a 20 for a saving throw.
3.
Okay.
18.
Okay. This gout of black blood flies past your face. You're just out of the way of it, and as it hits the wall, it scars the marble with that acidic kind of burning that's on there. It would have been bad if you would have gotten hit by that. Meanwhile, the Chimera comes down again, and you've got it twisted up so much watching this Rainmar and Eric's, you're realizing that the fact that he's only one person, there's actually an advantage. Because it's trying to attack, it can't hit a target every round. It has to focus on him, and it's kind of confusing itself almost, it seems like. The ram's head leans down and slams into you, Hergranka. Take 9. It hits you. You feel something in your hip snap. You think your leg is broken.
God.
You hit the wall. Slams your head up against the side. Kind of tumble back. But just like you saw from Rainmar, you're able to use your arm and your shoulder and pop up a little bit. The human fighting style is pretty useful for that, you've noticed. But you're on there. You think your movement is really restricted right now, and you feel like you're a little bit dizzy. You're losing blood. A little bit of it's coming down the corner of your mouth, out from one of your teeth. What will you do now?
Normal day.
Can I? Is the goat head still near me?
Yeah, it is pretty close to you.
Can I try and pierce one of its eyes?
Yeah, make me a 20.
5.
Okay. You take your glaive and you come in with it. You hit the cheekbone, pops up and gets the corner of the eye, and the thing roars out in pain. It starts to rear its head back, and you realize something. If you can hang on, you might be able to get on its back as it goes up, but if you can't, you might fall to your death. Are you going to hang on or not?
Hell yeah, I'm going to hang on.
Roll me a 20.
Okay.
Eric's Rainmar, you see him come down. He spears the thing in the corner of the tear duct. It roars out in pain. What did you roll?
15.
It throws its head back. He hangs on to the glaive. And as it hits the apex, you can actually watch the glaive bend with his weight. It flips him up in the air, and he barely manages to hang on to the end. As it whips back down and one more time, it's just like the most violent Hergranka motion you've ever felt in your life. It's flinging you, but you're hanging out with everything you're worth, and the thing is just roaring and screaming. One of the lion's head leans over, tries to snap at you. Misses, hits part of the neck of the goat. The thing, blood starts pouring forward. Hergranka, you feel like you can jump on, maybe able to jump onto its back now but your leg is so hurt right now, your movement is restricted. It's going to be a hard one. Are you going to try and do it anyway?
Yeah, I'm going to try and land on the back with a tuck and roll so I don't mess up my leg more. Oh, man. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, shit. 2.
No, that's good. That's what you wanted. You want to make sure you're underneath your dexterity. Your dexterity is halved right now, so your dexterity was actually only 5 effectively for this. You need to roll a 4 or below. You managed to roll a 4 or below. You tuck roll, grab the little thing's mane on your way down, and you're hanging onto the back. It can't reach you with any of its heads right now because of the way it's flaring back. So it's going to try and just shake and ram you against the wall. So you have an attack before you can do that. Before it does that. What are you going to do? You're on its back. You got your glaive still covered in blood. You can feel something in your arm. You smell burning flesh, and you realize it's your arm from the blood. That's all. Your whole arm is sizzling and popping.
The dragon head has the longest neck.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna go and try and sever that one off. Just cleave it.
Okay. Climb up a little bit. Grab the thing with your teeth. You kind of bite into it so you can use both hands and just slash down to it. Roll your 20.
17.
Bam! You hit the thing with the glaive. Bites deep in the neck. The thing roars in pain, just in agony. Rainmar, Eric's, you see this waterfall of blood hit the ground, sizzling and popping everywhere. it hits underneath. Granka, you didn't sever the head, but Raymar and Eric's, what you can see is the head is hanging on by about maybe a foot of skin all the way around it. It's dangling wildly. It doesn't even know it's dead yet. It's breathing fire everywhere along the ceiling, scarring the wall. You smell smoke everywhere. You're hanging on for dear life, Granka. The thing roars back and tries to crush you against the wall. It falls back with all of its weight, hits the wall, but you manage to kind of turn your body just enough so it doesn't crush you. You hear something in its body break again. You get another attack. What are you going to do?
Is there any way to try and get the dragon head to spew flame at the other two?
Yeah, probably not, you think, because you're a little bit... first of all, you're not strong enough to turn its head, and it's probably going to be dead by that time anyway.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump off, and as I come down, I'm going to turn around and just try and cleave through the goat head.
Okay. You guys all watch. Rainmar, Eric's, you watch Granka. He's 30 feet off the ground. Jump off the thing with a broken leg. Even all the other gnolls go, what'd you roll?
20!
In the clutch, I should have known. You come down with a glaive, bite into the thing's neck. Everybody watches Granka falling through the air. He hits the ground. You hear something else break. Your hip shatters when you hit the ground. You feel your elbow break. The glaive skitters the ground away from you. You're waiting for the thing to turn around. The whole chimera head turns around, and when it does, it swivels right off its body and falls to the ground. Blood everywhere. This black acid blood pouring on the ground. The whole thing collapses in a heap right down onto the ground next to your body. Probably about 1.5 feet away from your glaive, about 2.5 feet away from your body. You're sitting there, laying there. You smell your own flesh cooking. Your bones are broken. You're bleeding everywhere. You're laying there. You smell this acrid pool of blood. All around you, you hear the sounds of the clan, the sounds of the ghost walkers. They're whooping, making this whippoorwill noise as they're all making that chittering laughter, that laughter of triumph and war around you. It's filling the echoing up all around the room, almost like you can hear the ghosts of your ancestors filling you for a moment. Eric's, you're standing right now next to Laughs with Ghosts, and he kind of mumbles underneath his breath, "I told you we did not need you, Yinago."
Eric's is in the room with
Eric's, you're in the room. The reason why you didn't get involved in this is there was so much going on that there was no way. You were going to get either bathed in acid, or you're going to get breathed on with fire, or you're going to get crushed by a falling body.
There's no way to do anything subtle.
There was no way. Yeah. You see Granka just laying there, his broken body kind of, he's barely breathing. His eyes are kind of closed. It's hard to tell if he's alive or dead until you see him.
I'm going to just
reaching for
run over to him, and I'm going to gesture towards the gnolls and just be like, come on, come on, come on!
He looks over at the Carrion Queen, the shaman. She goes, "You will not." He grabs her. She grabs him by the neck. "You will not let him die." He says. He nods. She shoves him off in the room. He barely avoids falling in one of the acid pits. He goes over next to you, Eric's. He says, underneath his breath, he tells you, "Tell me what to do." Calissa and Trotty's running in there with you. She's looking like she's fiddling in her pouches for something. The queen looks over at you, Rainmar, and she says,
"This is where I've got my cure light wounds, right? This is some serious ass slappage, right? I'm gonna pick up I'm just gonna struggle because this is a fucking giant knoll,
Yes,
right?
he
And
is.
I'm like trying to get underneath.
Yeah, you and the shaman and Calissa are all struggling with him, pushing him up.
I'm just patting him on the butt, trying to heal him.
You're doing that, and the shaman is watching. He just starts slapping him wildly on the ass.
Yes.
And the shaman does. Take a hit point of damage. He's slapping you wildly on the ass, doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And Calissa's like, what in the hell are you doing? And she's looking at the two of you.
She's confused. Yeah.
She was just giving this. She hands you a beaker.
It's a Greek thing.
Okay, fine. Just give him this. I can't reach his head. She gives you this potion.
I can't either from under here. I
can. The Knoll says.
Cure light wounds for 6.
The shaman grabs her Granka by the face, rips open his mouth, and starts shoving the potion in his mouth, breaks the top of the glass, starts cutting his face up. The potion's going everywhere around him. Calissa's like just aghast at it.
Yeah, she's like, oh my god.
All the rest of the Knolls are impassive. They're just watching this. Her Granka, you could feel your vision tunneling out, getting ready to... But then it's just... You feel that strength comes back. You get your second wind. Take a deep breath. You're staring at the ceiling. And there it is. You've triumphed. You're alive. You don't know how, barely. You can still feel that pain in your arm. You're going to be scarred. You don't know if you'll ever walk again. But you'll find a way. Meanwhile, back at the door, the Carrion Queen looks over at Rainmar. My champion has bested your monster. She nods. You are strange, but you are strange family now, yes?
This is true.
She starts to giggle, and starts to laugh, this wild madcap hyena laugh that just echoes throughout the room.
Yep.
And gentlemen, for the evening, I think that's where we'll call it. We're a little bit late, ran a little bit late for the evening for the session.
Okay.
That was pretty intense, that combat.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Let me tell you guys what happened pretty much here.
Okay.
Now I can go forward with Agrias again. Now that he has a path forward, he has actually allies. There's a way forward for him. So this is a good thing. You now have allies also. Rainmar's group has allies as well. You have the Knoll clan with you.
Yep.
From now on, anytime any of the three of you play a solo session, all three of you will be eligible to play in each other's solo sessions.
Yay.
Because your characters in each other's continuum right now. That's really what I was setting up primarily with that. Okay?
Love it.
So you guys don't necessarily have to play alone if you don't want to. If you do want to, that's fine too. Just have to tell me. I just realized something, though. Something very interesting that came of this. Her Granka just killed an undead chimera. With training, you're gaining some levels. If you want to play this guy going forward, this guy could be a beast going forward.
Yeah.
So that's something else that's in play here.
Yeah, I'm seeing sort of like a multicultural, multi-god champion here forming too.
Yeah, I am
like a crossover.
I am seeing some coolness happening here.
Yeah, definitely.
Guys, stick around as usual. We'll talk shop a little bit after the session, but I'm going to adjourn for right now, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for watching us tonight. Intense session as always. The combat was crazy. I thought it was a lot of fun. Hopefully the guys did too, and hopefully everybody out there was watching us. You guys did too. For my players, Jeremy Brazil, Raymar the Wildlight, Anna Sarala, Patrick Hope, Hagaranka the Knoll, and Agrias the Tenebrous Hand, Magnus Miller Wilson, Eriks, and Jarinka. I'm your DM, Carlos A.S. Lacing, and thank you so much for tuning in, and have a good night.
Bye, guys.